Well, India is a very strategic market for GSK. We have a long history here in India. The pharmaceutical business that we are announcing the offer of in respect of today, we've been in existence for over 90 years, and the consumer business based in Delhi for longer than that. So we take a very long-term view as far as India is concerned. And we think as India develops and healthcare becomes more important and a greater priority and a greater focus, we can help bring our medicines and vaccines to more people. So we see a big volume opportunity here in India. So this is really another commitment to the long-term investment in India. And obviously, as a result, we will obtain more economic interest in the business here.
You've given a premium of over 25% to the last closing price, 3,100 rupees per share. That's the price for the open offer. How did you derive at this, and why this kind of a premium? And do you think are you confident that more shareholders will tender?
Yes, we think it's a very fair premium for the shareholders in GSK Pharmaceuticals in India. As you say, it's a 26% premium to the close on Friday. And prior to that, the stock had run up about 20% in the last 12 months. So shareholders are getting a return in the mid-40s compared to a year ago. So we think that is very fair at 3,100. Of course, we always have to draw a balance between what is fair for the Indian shareholders, but at the same time, what price enables us to generate a good return for the GSK PLC shareholders. And so those are the calculations we've done, and that's the balance we've made. I think this is good for the Indian shareholders, but at the same time, as I say, India is an important market for us, and we are confident that we will generate good long-term returns from this investment for our PLC shareholders.
Right. Just recently, your global firm had also announced a huge investment in India, and then you're saying that India is one of the focus markets. Now, at this kind of a premium, if the shareholders still feel that there's more value going forward and they don't tender in, then are you also looking at revising the price upwards if that eventuality happens?
No, we've got no intention of changing the offer. The offer price will be 3,100 rupees, and that's it, and we're not going to increase the offer. So it's really for the shareholders to decide whether they want to take advantage of this offer to lock in some gains, to create some liquidity. Clearly, if the offer is successful, there'd be less of a free float after the offer, and therefore less liquidity available and less trading in the stock. So this is really a once-off opportunity. We did exactly the same thing with our consumer offer just over a year ago. We didn't revise the price there, and we've got no intention of doing so again in this process.
But in this process, you may have also spoken to some of your big shareholders, and what we do gather is that Aberdeen was one of the big shareholders which was keen for you to go ahead with this. So have you really touched base, and what is the kind of response coming in from there?
Well, you're right. Aberdeen is one of the significant shareholders in GSK Pharmaceuticals. We've had no dialogue with the shareholders around this. Obviously, this is something that's important to keep confidential ahead of the announcement today. The company has, as part of its routine management interactions with shareholders, to discuss the operational performance of the company during the year, and that's been happening as normal. But apart from that, we've had no specific interactions with any shareholders. And this is something, obviously, we've tried to maintain confidentiality of.
Timeline for this open offer to get over?
We hope the open offer will be open somewhere around February the 7th, and under the process here it will be open for 2 weeks, so from February the 7th up to somewhere around February the 20th. That obviously depends on the approvals coming through from the Foreign Investment Board and also SEBI, but that's the timeline we're working to.
And since you said that with this kind of an open offer issuance, your commitment towards the Indian market is just reinforced. Can you take us through some of the key factors and the areas that you're going to work around in the coming times in the Indian market?
Yes, well, as you've said, this offer follows on from around $900 million that we've put into the consumer business earlier in the year. So the two together represents an investment of around $2 billion. So that's clearly very substantial and reflects the strategic importance of the market here in India. And I think for GSK, for both pharma and consumer, it's really a great volume opportunity. As I say, as India develops, and I think the need for new medicines, new vaccines is an increasingly important part of the business here in India, and new over-the-counter medicines and oral care products like Sensodyne and then, of course, Horlicks. You know, we see a very positive future in terms of the volume all of that can deliver, and we very much try and have a broad range of products that can appeal to as many different people as possible right across the whole of India.